When you get to the end of the month, there are a few things that I suggest doing before the next month begins. I've talked in previous episodes about making sure that you are prepped for next month's budget and even pulling tasks for the month from your annual task list. But there is one more thing that I think is incredibly important for us to do on a regular basis at the end of each month. So let's talk about it. Are you ready to stop the chaos, the stress, the overwhelm that's filling your life? I'm Renae Matt, and together you and I are going to build simple routines that are going to change your life. When you put these habits into practice, you're going to be able to organize your life in a way where you can be there for your family, pay off your debt, save money, your house can stay organized, you don't have to stress about what's for dinner, and you still get time for yourself. So without further ado, let's get started. Welcome to the Routine Advantage Podcast. Now, this is one of those things that if you are not in the practice of doing this already, it's totally okay. And it really doesn't take long either. The last thing I want to do is pile on all these things to do at the end of the month because we want to feel prepared, but we also don't want to feel like we are overwhelmed and kind of drowning in all the things we need to do to prepare for the following month. So we want to keep these tasks very simple and easy, but there are some things that need to be done to help us feel more prepared so that we do feel like we are ready and we're going into the new month really strong. And that's why I think it's really important to do the budget and make sure that you are tweaking that so it's ready to go as soon as you enter the month. It's important to have those annual tasks because then you don't feel so overwhelmed with all of the other things. But there is this other practice that I think is so important because it gives us time to sit back and really look at what we enjoy in our lives. And this practice is a journaling practice to close out each month. And I recently started doing this in probably the last year and a half or so. And it makes such a big difference because a lot of times we go through life just living our lives and they're busy weeks, and you get to the end of the month and you think, man, like there was so much happening. I didn't even get time to enjoy, this or something I wanted to do. And we kind of look at it as time just going by so fast. And I know like when I was younger, people always used to say that the older you get, the faster time goes. And I feel that. And the older I get, the faster time is going. But when I started doing this, where I would sit down and look at the month before and kind of recap all of these good things that have happened, it started to almost slow down the time because I started to realize how I was spending my time, what I was prioritizing, what I was choosing to spend my time on. And it makes you more aware and it starts making you focus on all of the positive things. You might be going through a hard time. You might be going through a really busy season, but you can still focus on all of the good things in your life. And that makes a huge difference in not only how we approach the busyness, but also how we begin prioritizing our time. Because if we look back at our month and we realize that we really truly didn't do anything that we enjoy or spend any time with our loved ones, like that is something that is going to trigger you to make some changes. And this is a good thing. And if you are feeling really busy and you can look back and have this long list of things that you're so grateful for and you really enjoyed about the month, then even though it was busy, you can look back at that and say, it was a good busy. It was a good month. And I got a lot of things done. And I'm very grateful for a lot of the things that happened this month. So it just changes our mindset around it. And I think that that is incredibly important. So this practice is a journaling practice to close out each month. And basically, you are just going to brain dump all the good things that happened throughout the month. So you can do this in a planner, you can do it in a journal, you can do it in just a random old notebook, like wherever you want to do this, you can do it. So I'll just kind of go through some ideas to give you some inspiration on what you're kind of looking for. And this is what I tend to do, but you can do whatever feels good to you. So basically, you are going to sit down and you're going to think about the month prior, and you can either just do this by memory. You can actually pull out your calendar and kind of review what was happening each week to help refresh your memory. And I do this all the time. I end up pulling my calendar out and looking back at what really happened throughout the week to remind me of what was going on. The other thing I do is I sometimes am writing these things down in my planner throughout the month because I know it's like I don't want to forget recognizing this. So I will write it down throughout the month so that I make sure I don't forget. And then I just read it as I'm going through and adding things at the end of the month when I'm doing this routine. So, number one, you want to include the moments that you enjoyed. These could be date nights. These could be sunset walks, either by yourself, with your dog, with your husband, with your kids, whoever you're going with. Maybe it was going to brunch with a friend or your sister or your mom. Maybe it was going fishing with your family. I had that one recently where I planned a day and I went ice fishing I mostly sat with my dad in the truck, but I had other family in the fish house and then my mom joined us later. But that is something that I wrote because that was something that I want to remember. So, really, it's just any moments throughout the month that you want to remember. Number two is things that you do not want to forget. So, not only just the moments, but also just things that you don't want to forget. So, this could be something like a health milestone that you reached. Maybe it is something that you celebrated. Maybe it's an achievement that you reached. Maybe it's something like you booked a vacation for later in the year and you want to write that down because that's an exciting thing that you booked this month. Maybe you paid off a debt or you paid for that vacation. And it's things like that that you want to recognize that you are excited about, but you want to remember when you did those things. So it's just writing down those things that you also don't want to forget that happened throughout that month. And the third thing that you want to write down are summaries of your habits. So this could be like if you are trying to reach a gym goal, did you reach your goal? Or maybe you had a goal to go, 5 times each week, but you reached a gym goal of going 16 times throughout the month. So you reached, you know, 16 out of 20. That is something to write down. That is a huge accomplishment. Maybe your goal was to go on 5 bike rides that month and you did it. So that is something that you want to write down. If you had a goal to reach your water goal each day and write down how many days you achieved it. And when you're starting to track these things, it also makes you aware of where you might want to put more effort or make some changes in the habits that you're creating. Because if you're setting a goal every month and you're not hitting it, or you're not even getting close to that, maybe adjust your goal or adjust your habits to try and reach that goal so that you start actually hitting the goals that you want. But if you're getting really close, like celebrate that. Make sure that you are taking time to recognize the effort that you are putting in, and it will make it more likely that you will continue to reach for your goals rather than feeling bad about not reaching them. So celebrate what you did do and look at that and see how you can improve even more the following month. So it's things like that that you are just taking note of. And those are the three that I go through. So I think that pretty much encompasses anything that I'm looking at. You could also look at anything that you're grateful for, not just things that you want to remember, but it could be anything that you're grateful for. So that's another one. I haven't done that one in mine, but maybe it's something I should consider doing because when I am filling this out, I generally have my page full with just these three bullet points. So I use my paper planner. If you are new here, I have shared my favorite paper planner before. It is the Dream Planner from Horatio Printing. And if you decide to go and get a Dream Planner, I believe they still have some for 2025. And I think they're on sale. And not only are they on sale, but you can also use code Renae15. That's RENAE15. Renae15 will get you 15% off, and you can stack that on top of the discount that is currently happening. So if you want to get the same planner I use, I love their vertical flat layout Dream Planner. So they're all the same Dream Planner right now, I believe, but they have like different styles as far as like covers and different bindings. I actually like the one that is just the black leather and it's the lay flat like book version. It's not a coil bound, it's just book bound. and I use the vertical. So they have a horizontal or a vertical layout. I use the vertical layout and I absolutely love it. It is just enough structure for me to build my day and build my week and have enough space, I guess, like blank space to also do what I need to do. So I can plan out my whole week and my whole month, and even the back pages give me room to set up my goals and my habit trackers and my annual task list. Everything is back there. So I can have everything at my fingertips in this planner, and it keeps me super organized, and I can build my day stack, and I'm using my Google Calendar, but then I'm transferring my day stacks into my paper planner to just get a full layout of my week. So I am able to use this, but what I really love about this planner is that at the end of each month, they have these blank pages and they call it praise report. And this is where I do this recap of all of these good things that happened to me that month. So I already have a page in my planner that I can dedicate to doing this full list. And I fill that page every month. And when I first started doing it, I was like, well, what do I write in here? Like, I had a hard time kind of thinking of things to write on this page. And now it's like sometimes I just am cramming so much in there because I'm starting to realize all of the little things that I truly enjoy. And I find that month over month, I am continuing to build the life that is most important to me. Like, I am building a life that I truly love. And I think that this practice has a huge part of that because it's making me actually more aware of what I'm writing down and what I'm recognizing in my days. So I think that that is huge, and I just love that it's already there and it's already set, but you could do this in any planner. This particular planner also has more pages like quarterly, so it separates and has some extra pages between each quarter to kind of bring you through a whole heart check. And it is a Christian-based planner, so that you are aware of that, but it brings you through a whole heart check, and it just kind of gives you this time to check in and reevaluate things, and I just really enjoy it. It's pretty quick to do. I tend to do them on my morning routine, during my morning routine, when I'm kind of switching things over for the month. But you could do it whenever you want. Maybe it's sitting down in the evening or on a weekend that works best for you. So it's just a really cool practice, and I just really, really enjoy this paper planner. So if you want to get one, Horatio Printing .com, and then use code Renae15 to get 15% off. But I want to recap those things for you to help you brain dump all the good things that happened, because this is an important journaling practice to close out each month. So, number one, you want to include all of the moments that you enjoyed. These are your date nights, your sunset walks, your brunches, your fishing, your activities with family, whatever moments that you enjoyed throughout the month, write those down. Number two is write down all of the things that you just don't want to forget. These might be health milestones, might be something you celebrated that month. It might be an achievement that you reached. Maybe you booked a vacation or you paid off a debt. Anything that you don't want to forget, just write it down here. And then the third thing is to summarize your habits. How did you do that month on the habits that you are working on? Did you reach your gym goal? Did you reach your bike ride goal? Did you reach your water goal? Did you reach a goal of, how many times you got a good night's sleep? Whatever it is that you are trying to improve on, write down how you did that month. So those are the three things that I think you could just brain dump and really capture how your month went, and then you can really be grateful for that as you move into the following month, and then you can do it all over again by the time that month ends, and you can just start month over month recognizing how your life is and how you are building the life that you want. I think this is such an important step and it's so good when you can do this practice, and it makes us more grateful of what we have in our lives. So I hope you enjoyed this episode. I will catch you back here on Monday, because we always release episodes on Mondays and Thursdays. So I will catch you right back here on Monday. Did you love that episode or learn something useful? If so, would you do me a huge favor? My goal is to grow this podcast and help as many women as I can break free from the overwhelm so they can truly enjoy their life. The best way for me to do this is for you to leave a 5-star written review on your podcast app and to share this episode with a friend or in your Instagram stories. I appreciate you being here. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I will see you on the next episode. Take care.